concentration, its cell number, its density. It's important because bacterial cells do not do everything they're capable of doing right away. Some genes are not active until the density of the population gets to be a certain point. So when we were drawing on the board over here, there's the two phases of our launch that people talk about of our exponential growth. You recognize that that first phase represents balanced growth, and we get primary metabolism. And our secondary, the second one is an unbalanced growth, and that's where we have secondary metabolism, which are different from the primary metabolism. But the key here is that these secondary metabolites are not produced here. And why not? Well, the bacterial cells are not, they weren't activated. Why aren't they activated? It's been shown because they don't have a need for them yet. Those secondary metabolites are involved in survival. And at the first part, at the toe of that exponential curve, there's no need for survival. They're not going to waste their time and energy producing the chemicals that they don't need yet. But they can detect their density. And as the density increases, then we see genes being activated. Now, some of these genes in the secondary are toxins. Many bacteria that are capable of producing a toxin will not do so initially until they reach a certain threshold in terms of concentration. Now, how do they do this? Form sensing. I always draw the cell-shaped cell because they're obviously not all the cells. But they will secrete a number of different types of molecules that are typically referred to as autoinducers. Autoinducers. One more recent article I saw called them pheromones, which I think you may have heard about pheromones, but I don't think that's the appropriate term for this. But anyway, and if they've got receptors for these, as well as receptors for other bacterial autoinducers on their cell surface. And when the concentration and the population numbers are low, then these things are secreted or diffused away from the cell, and very few of the receptors on the cell surface become attached to it. But as the numbers increase, more and more of these molecules are being produced, then an increasingly large number of autoinducer receptors become occupied. Once a threshold value becomes occupied, then there are signal transduction signals produced and transmitted into the nucleoli that result in the activation of transcriptional activators. These then result in genes being turned on, and then they acquire different characteristics. The cells that we see up here are really quite different from the cells that we see down there. They're all in the exponential phase. They're all growing. But those two phases, and there's some more phases there, but those two phases are quite different with respect to the types of products that are being produced by the cells that are actively growing. Form sensing has been shown to be very important in biofilms. Particularly, we've got a variety of different types of bacteria, because different bacteria will influence the activity of a particular cell too. I don't know if that's a remark or not. Other questions? The microbiological assay. The microbiological assay allows one to determine the biological activity of a metabolite. Metabolites are things that the cell needs in order to grow. They can be typically they're vitamins, growth factors, and such things. It requires that we have an organism that is an auxotroph for the material. a nutritional mutant that is incapable of producing vitamin C. If it can produce vitamin C, then it will do so as long as it has the nutrients to grow. And limiting vitamin C in the environment and the medium is not more effective at all. So we have to have an oxycode for the material that we want to biologize. And then we simply set up a standard curve that relates the concentration of that particular metabolite with the time it takes for the bacterial population to enter stationary phase. Medium in which the material that we're assaying is present in low concentration, the microorganism is going to deplete it rather quickly. Once it's depleted, it will go into stationary phase. So, deplete it, stationary. That is characterized by the same time. Now we have a second solution, a second medium that's identical with the exception that has more of that particular material, vitamin C. So if the organism, the population is going to survive longer, but at some point it will become depleted, and it will go into a third medium, identical to the other two, but it has more vitamin C. So using these three values on here, we can generate a standard curve, the curve that we can use to relate time to stationary phase with the concentration of our vitamin C. Never. If you've ever done it, you know it's never done. That's it. So now I have a standard curve that relates my time to standard, time to stationary, concentration vitamin. Now I take my unknown. Might be one of those multiple vitamin tablets. It says this tablet has so many micrograms or milligrams of vitamin C. All it in the medium. The medium has no vitamin C other than what's in that tablet. So now I look to see how long does it take that population to go into stationary. I could do it over here, but now I've got the standard curve, so all I have to do. All right, it took it, put the value on 20, 40, 60 minutes. It took it, let's say, 45 minutes. Here, here. That's the concentration of vitamin C in that tablet. Now, if it's more than what is advertised to me, great. But if it's less than what's advertised to me, you're not getting the money. That's the bottom line. It is used primarily in the pharmaceutical industry to measure vitamins. I can't think of anything else that could be used like that. Does that make sense? Does that help anyone? Other questions? Anything? All right then, let's go ahead and let's continue with our discussion here. The last time we met, we were talking about environmental conditions that are necessary for growth to occur. And we're really only going to be worried we talked about temperature, we talked about oxygen, we're talking about oxygen and the other gases. We're going to mention pH. There are other things. Your book goes into the presence and amount of salt, osmotic pressure, and stuff like that. I don't think for what we're trying to do here, but I did mention to you, we talked about oxygen, we talked about thioglycolate. But oxygen is not the only gas in some organisms in the environment. For example, the campylobacter, these are organisms that cause serious foodborne. To make it your book mentions bacteria. These are organisms that in order to culture them, in order to get them to grow with any success, you have to culture them in an environment that's enriched in carbon dioxide. These organisms are typically referred to as capitalists. And I started out with this one because this is still used in some very high-tech laboratories. It's a cheap but very effective means of generating an atmosphere of enriched carbon dioxide. Now we have in the normal atmosphere, everybody know how much carbon dioxide we find in the air? About 0.03%. Some bacteria require up to 8% in order to grow. So what we can do is we can increase that concentration using a candle jar. And you can see why it's called a candle jar. Right there is our candle. But we would simply take the plates of media that we've inoculated with our organism, or with our sample that we think has the organism. We might have tubes here, but you place them in there, you put a candle in there, you light the candle, then you close it up. That candle will burn the oxygen off, and it will increase the concentration of carbon dioxide to certain levels that many of these organisms will grow at. Again, this is very simple. Now this is maybe it's not apparent. This is a big mayonnaise jar type of thing that you find in a restaurant where they might have. But, they've got big wide mouths and put petri dishes in there and everything. And no problem with your hand in and out. I don't think you find it at Kroger or something like that. Primarily for restaurants. These don't swarm. But it's a big jar. But it allows you to establish capillary conditions. It does it very well. It's very cheap. Very cheap. Now, you can go the other extreme. You can go with what's called a glove box. And these are very versatile, but they are very expensive. A glove box allows you to do several different things, utilizing different gases. But it's called a glove box because here you have an environment, you have a workspace that is totally controllable. You access it through the port where you'll put your samples in, or through some gloves. Oftentimes these are for inner rooms, but a number of times they're for capsulize. But here we have a door that we can open up and set our sample in. You close it, you purge it so that we've got the appropriate gas. Whatever this environment is, we have it over here. There's another door here. You open up and roll it in. And now you have it right there in that environment. There's an incubator in here. There's provisions for a Bunsen burner. Everything can be done right there in that environment. Some anaerobes are so sensitive to oxygen, they would die in being passed from this port to this port if there was oxygen. Technophiles aren't that particularly sensitive, but nevertheless, you can set it up for capillary on a glove box. Now, if we wanted an anaerobic environment, we typically would use nitrogen. We have a tank, big cylinder of nitrogen. You can buy, if you want capillary conditions, you can buy a cylinder of gas that has 8% CO2. Otherwise, it's just like oxygen, or just like the atmosphere air, it's got 8% CO2. So you get a variety of them. Now, that little chamber right there is going to set it back about 8 grains. And a lot of clinics don't necessarily, now some hospitals will have them, particularly if they're specialized